Oh my God.
If you like football and you like fantasy, football, fantasy.
I never know.
You never know when the drops come.
I never know when the drops come. Back at him.
Yeah. There's a fantasy channel that you've got to see. It's like a fantasy football fantasy.
I'm gonna turn it down so like it can pick up you talking instead of just this. Because I'm trying to use the Twitter and I look like an idiot, like staring at another screen.
That's okay. I always look like an idiot. Whenever I stream anything, I'm always like looking over here because this is where my stream words come, and I feel like I look dumb, but I don't really care.
I said this wrong, but whatever. 2018 season 2 preview, but it's 2018 season preview 2.
There it is. There it is. You got it. You got it. We only had minor technical difficulties tonight. It was great.
Yeah. We're slowly getting the technical difficulties out of the way in the preseason. This is
right.
what you do.
That's why we have a preseason.
That's why we have a preseason.
So we can get our shit together because that's what really is important about football and the football season. Oh, it's back. And your mom?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the lyrics?
Jokes. We never listened to it that far.
I've never heard it that far in my life. Back at him.
Back at him.
Yeah, there it is.
Did you hear that? Does that sound okay? Okay, good. Mess with that a little bit tonight.
Did you get your new computer?
I have a new computer. I haven't made the full new soundboard yet. I'm just using a temporary one right now.
Yeah.
But I'm trying, some different arrangements, some different setups.
You're like the Neil Peart of streaming. You got lots of things going on. A lot of different things around you. Cymbals hanging off from the ceiling. You have a gong next to you.
I do. Oh, no, wait, this side. Eventually, yes. Eventually, this room will be more than Lowe's boxes.
I love
Remember,
it.
Lowe's never stop improving.
That's right. Thank you, Lowe's, for all your money and support.
But we'll get there. I'm still undetermined whether or not I'm going to put my desk in front of that window or not, because I feel like I'm wasting wall space.
Yeah, I think you should, because you can open the window and look outside and stuff. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what
stupid stuff.
Like naked ladies, naked guys. No,
it's like
is it like a building?
Motorcycles. It's
that's cool.
I have a motorcycle in my garage, bro. And I'm like, okay,
that's cool.
Why don't you drive it somewhere else than up and down the block 10 times?
That's what they do because they don't want to actually drive them because it's a death trap. It's a dangerous death trap. So they're like, my dad used to do shit like that with his motorcycle. He would just clean it constantly and then drive it like a mile and then drive it back and then clean it again. And it was like, yeah, I think you're obsessed with this thing and you should probably not be so weird. But then he moved to Florida, so now he's super weird. He's the most weird.
The most weird?
Yeah. People who live in Florida. We need to tie that in somehow. Can you do that? Can you play it through Google Chat?
I gotta figure it. There's a thing I can get.
Control room. Yeah.
Where in the control room in this thing?
Yeah, try that. I don't know. Maybe that can to your desktop.
Where's the control room?
It's to the left. Below.
I got chat, screen share, and cameraman.
Okay, I have a control room. I don't know.
Oh well, hello, fancy control room.
Maybe that's why we can't connect on a physical level.
Yeah. All right, let's fucking use cameraman.
What's cameraman do?
I don't know. We're finding out together.
This is truly preseason right now.
As guests join, hide their audio, broadcast a large video, and hide the other video feeds. New guests in my large broadcast. This is stupid.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do anything I said.
There's just two of us. It'll bounce back and forth. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine is the super response.
It's fine.
So we're here week 2 of season 2, which is the 2018 season of the Fantasy Football podcast.
Uh-huh.
And we're taking things up a notch this season.
Oh my God.
We're doing season previews. This is our second of 4 previews we're doing tonight. Tonight we're going to be previewing the AFC East and the AFC South. My 2 favorite divisions. Got it right. Almost said conferences. That's all right. It's basically the same thing. But we're doing some other stuff this year too. We just started our Discord.
Yeah, I just joined it 2 seconds ago.
Slow clap. Do I have a slow clap soundboard?
Yeah, can do.
All right, I already love this soundboard.
So we have a Discord. If you look on the @FFFF podcast Twitter, there's a link to how to join. Over in there, throughout the season, you'll be able to chat with friends in the general chit chat area.
Yeah.
Submit listener questions. We have a game day channel preset, so we can talk during game day.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Football. And there might be another channel in there. I forget. I literally just set this up today. So
I can't wait to talk about football games.
Are you going to watch tomorrow night's game?
I will watch tomorrow night. I will be busy. Never mind. No, I won't get to see tomorrow night. I thought it was Friday. Why is it always Thursday? Is preseason always Thursday?
It's Thursday night football. Bum, 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 bum.
I hate preseason now. It's so depressing. You know what preseason reminds me of? Having to go back to school. And I still have like that feeling in my brain about like, oh, school starts soon. Fuck.
Right. No, I get that.
You know, you get that on Sunday night, like the Sunday night scaries, like where you're like, oh, I got to go to work or whatever. But it's like, really, you're like worried about like, it feels like school. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Usually during the summer, I forget the days of the week.
Yeah.
Because I've worked from home for like 6 years now.
Yeah, it fucks you up. I know.
And football season is the only time I can tell what day of the week it is.
It's great. It's a nice, it's like a metronome for your week. I know.
I'm like, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Thursday.
That's
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah. It's
good
nice.
Times.
It's good.
And speaking of the fall season, that is also typically when a new Madden NFL football game comes out.
I hear it's really good.
I've had a lot of fun playing the early access preview that they had. You can like play it for free for a little bit on Xbox. And we will be doing Madden streams, or I will, or probably me. Unless Josh comes over, but we'll be doing Madden streams with the real teams, showcasing the week's marquee matchups.
Yeah,
and we're gonna just play those games, for a few hours just to kind of see how they might play out.
That's a great idea.
And over on the @FFFF podcast Twitter, you can check the poll to vote for what day is best for you.
I voted.
Josh voted.
I said I don't want to tell them because then they'll just think that that's what they should do.
I voted for Sunday morning because I was like, it's my thing, and I would Sunday morning. I'm not doing anything,
right?
But I will gladly do any of those 4 days that I posted. It's mostly just I want to stream when people aren't going to be watching other people stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Are you going to calculate the points like players get? Are you going to like figure that out?
No. I just want to kind of be like, oh, hey, the Browns play this team tonight on Thursday Night Football. Who's going to win?
Are you going to be the Browns?
Oh, Browns. Yeah, I think I'll be the worst team.
Yeah.
To see if I can win.
Just to see. I figure you could win the Super Bowl with the Browns on Madden. You could probably win the Super Bowl with the Browns on
You could do it. You could. But where we don't have to win the Super Bowl with the Eagles? Real life.
Yeah! This is the hat. This is the hat I wore. This is the Super Bowl winning hat. I bought this hat before I came over to your house. Before the NFC Championship game, I went to the mall and I went to Lids and I was like, I'm going to buy an Eagles hat. It's this NFC Championship game. Fuck it, right? And I bought this hat and they won both that game and the Super Bowl. So I figure this hat's probably got magical powers and they're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. So.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
Uh-huh.
That's you. You got swifty, son.
I was getting swifty. I got a little swifty.
You got a little swifty. But yeah, so we're still the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, up until September 4th. Is that when the season starts?
Well, we're the Super Bowl champs until someone else wins it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So
I guess until the Eagles, if they don't make the playoffs, then it's over, right?
The reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world.
The Philadelphia Joe Frazier's. Because he's from there.
He is.
I saw his gym. I would drive past it a lot. It's not there anymore, I don't think, is it? I think they got rid of it.
Idea. I didn't even realize he still had a gym down there.
It was the one like he trained at. I think he owned it. I don't know.
Smoking Joe Frazier. Just like Smoking Joe Cutler.
Smoking Joe Cutler. Dude, do you watch his show?
I do. Because I watch it just to see what he does on it.
He just looks like this all the time. He's just like.
That's so great. He just says all this great stuff. He just shows up.
He's like,
hey, we gotta buy a tractor.
Yeah, man, that's cool. What channel is it on?
It's on E.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hiya.
Ha ha.
Oh man. But so here we are now through the preamble, yada yada.
We did it.
This episode brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving. Thank you to Lowe's. We might as well just jump right into
here we go.
The AFC East, and we're gonna start with the Super Bowl losery champions.
Defending Super Bowl losers.
Hey!
Say it again.
Lick my balls! Yeah!
Nice.
The Patriots.
Yeah, cool. So there's like one person you want from the Patriots, right? Well, two. There's two people you want.
There's two people, but it's kind of sneaky.
I know.
Year. We'll get into it.
We'll talk about it when we get to the running backs.
So if you missed the first episode of the season preview, the 2018 season preview, which was episode 1, and this is episode 2 for season 2 of the Fantasy Football podcast. What we're doing is we're going through each division, each team, spotlighting the number one player in the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end positions.
Yeah.
And also giving you a potential sleeper for that team.
Sneaky sleepers.
And that's kind of what this preview thing is going to be about. Once we get to September 5th,
I think that's the day.
Right? Because September 6th is the opener. So September 5th is going to be the first true, like, here's guys you want to start. These are the kind of things you're looking for, roster baiting that you're used to from this show.
Yeah.
And, we can't wait to get to that point. But to get to that point, we've got to go through all of this.
The sucky preseason.
Hey, it's the preseason for us, too.
That's what Mel just said. Over under on how many people say that. God, that's the worst.
I'm going to bet on myself to say it a lot.
I can't wait till one of them says it's the preseason for us too, then pulls a gun out and shoots himself in the face live.
Oh, wow!
Over under on that. What game do you think that's going to happen?
3.5.
2.
All right. So the New England Patriots, they have a quarterback.
Yeah, he's good still, I guess. I don't know.
His name is Tom
Brady. Tim Brody.
Hit the sack, Jack.
He can't catch, though.
He can't catch. Hey-oh.
So
we had his catch rating adjusted in Madden.
Did it get adjusted?
No, Nick Foles got adjusted because it was lower than Tom Brady, so they had to
fix it, right? Yeah.
Which was good. I like that.
That's clever.
Last year, Tom Brady and ESPN standard PPR scoring was the number 3 overall quarterback.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising for Tom Brady, but maybe surprising a little bit for people who are 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't think 40-year-olds are number 3 at anything except for maybe getting prostate cancer next.
Ooh, man.
We're pushing it, so get your butthole checked out.
That's true.
Yeah, I like every year I just hope that he's old and done. And every year he's still fucking amazing. So I don't know. Yeah, get him. I mean, you got to get him. Right?
You do have to get him, but now he is 41.
Yeah.
And
made out of Gumbies or something.
Okay, so the thing with Tom Brady, right, was last year he was really good. 32 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Yeah, that's really good.
But as I'm looking at my statistics here, and I wrote this down earlier, he really faded down the stretch.
Yeah.
Up to, I want to say, let's say week 12, he had been putting up, at least 15 points a game. Some games, obviously way more. But after that, it was like 8 points, 9 points, 15, 15, 15.
Yeah. Do you think that's because he's old?
I think the season kind of caught up with him. And, he only had one game in that stretch in a warm weather climate, which was at Miami.
Yeah.
They were at Buffalo, at Pittsburgh, home against Buffalo, and home against the Jets.
Oh, that Pittsburgh game. Oh, my God.
And I don't know if you know this about New England in the winter.
It's a little cold up there. A little chilly.
It gets a little chilly. So, obviously he's still somebody that you want to take.
I would still. I wouldn't pass him up. But, I probably wouldn't go first round on him.
No.
Certainly not. But yeah, I mean, if he's there and you need like a quarterback, fuck it, do it. He'll fucking be 41 and he'll fucking throw like 40 touchdowns. It'll be like that. That's how they are, right? And he'll have nobody around him, just always. Like he'll just have like the ghost of Lynn Swan.
The ghost of Lynn Swan.
Lynn Swan's not even dead yet, but.
No, yeah, his receiving core this year. I mean, Edelman's out for a first few games.
Yeah, for taking drugs.
Danny Amendola is now back in Miami.
Yeah, that'll be fun for him.
And that leaves Chris Hogan, who we'll get to. But they have like Cordell Patterson, who was not good enough for Minnesota.
Yeah,
they got rid of for Seattle.
They traded, or did they trade for what's his name? The guy who got knocked out in the Super Bowl.
Cooks,
Brandon
Cooks. They traded him to the Rams.
Yeah.
Or did they just not resign him?
I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. I think they might have just.
But he's on the Rams now, so he's good.
Yeah. But he didn't really do much. I mean, he was supposed to be like this crazy like weapon and like.
He had a pretty good season. I'm gonna just quick look that up because of reasons here that I don't have him listed because we're not talking about the NFC West today.
Yeah, sorry.
1,000 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. Right. So he had a pretty good year. But just like Tom Brady, weeks 13 through 17, Brandon Cooks basically didn't exist.
Did he have a good Super Bowl or did he get knocked flat out cold?
Brandon Cooks got murdered by Malcolm Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins committed murder on live television. It was great.
With a tackle that may not be legal in 2018.
Probably not. But it was legal then, and it was legal because he didn't. It was like one of those hockey moves where the guy's not looking around. He didn't look around to see, and man, Yeah,
he stays in the game. It may have been a different story,
maybe,
but he didn't stay in the game.
No.
And that's why the Super Bowl champions are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. Anyway.
Moving right along. But yeah, so Tom Brady, look, he's Mr. Reliable as long as he doesn't blow out his knee.
Yeah.
That was like his only bad season, right? And then
like 06 or something.
Who is he actually going to throw to this year? The Patriots always run out basically bums. And they always make it to the Super Bowl, but who is he going to throw to? Well, that brings us to the running back position.
Yeah.
The Patriots, for the first time in a few years, drafted a running back, Mr. Sonny Michel.
There you go. That was that was the guy that people were high on here.
They were, but he has a bone-on-bone problem in his knees.
I wish I had that type of problem. You know what I mean?
And he just had surgery to clean up some detritus.
That's a great word.
So he's currently out, probably for most of the preseason.
Yeah.
So what that means is that he will likely not be ready for the start of the regular season.
Oh, God.
Meaning running back duties now fall into the hands of a quadruple-headed monster led by Rex Burkhead and James White.
Yeah, James White. Oh,
and then followed by Mike Gillislee and Jeremy Hill.
Mike Gillislee, the cock tease of all fantasy running backs. God.
I don't think the Patriots are going to keep 5 running backs.
No, that would be crazy.
Seems crazy. So I'm eliminating Gillislee and Hill from our conversation tonight just because one of those guys I think is getting cut.
You think it'll be Hill?
I don't know.
I don't either. I think
Jeremy Hill is kind of sucky now.
Yeah, he's not very good anymore.
And, Mike Gillislee is basically a better Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, he's kind of a catcher. He kind of, receives a lot more. I don't know. He was kind of like a jack of all trades running back. And they were using him. I can't ever tell when the Patriots use what running back when. It seems completely random to me. It's like Bill Belichick just defies logic and just decides like, oh, this guy's going to do this now. And then
you'll play until you fumble.
That's which is crazy, which is fucking crazy. Because like, of course you're going to fumble.
No, not New England, baby.
It's going to happen.
No, Tom Brady don't even fumble. He has a whole rule developed around how he can't fumble.
What is his rule?
The tuck rule.
I walked into that one.
But I think Rex Burkhead and James White, who last year finished as the 39th and 38th running backs, respectively. So they basically combined to make one tremendous running back.
Except in fantasy, you can't fusion dance running backs together.
Right. So you just kind of gotta hope, right?
Yeah.
And James White basically existed in the passing game. And Burkhead existed as that like early down rusher. I think Burkhead is the guy you want most
for like a 3 though, right? Like a running back 3.
Not like a starter, yeah. But we'll get to why I think Burkhead because Burkhead, fuck it. Burkhead is also going to be our sneaky sleeper.
There you go. He had a couple really crazy plays in the Super Bowl. He had that one really good run.
Because, you know what you're getting with James White?
Yeah.
He's basically your third down back. He's going to get a ton of catches. He may score a touchdown or 2.
Right.
Burkhead, though, is a little, I don't want to call them a thunder and lightning duo, but he's a little bit more thunder than he is lightning.
It's like lightning and diet lightning.
It's like lightning and heat lightning.
And heat lightning. Yeah. Maybe some thunder.
But I think Burkhead is going to be another one of those goal to go vultures.
I see what you're saying. They like pick the touchdown flesh off of the bone.
Yes.
Yeah, they're there to scoop up the touchdown to get the credit for it.
And the Patriots love that kind of running back.
Yeah, they do. Owning a Patriots running back on your team is the most frustrating bullshit you'll ever experience. I think I had White last year, and at some point I had the guy who's on Tennessee now. What's his name?
Oh,
fuck.
I got it because we're talking about the NFC South. They have.
Oh shit! I can look at it.
Wait. Oh, did they get James White? No, they got the other guy, didn't they?
Yeah, the other guy who I don't remember his name. Oh my god! Not Derrick Henry.
No, Derrick Henry is the guy. Fuck. Dion Lewis.
Dion Lewis. Thank you. I had him.
Lewis.
I had him, and it was like I kind of was like switching back and forth, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I had Gillies. See, I don't even know which one I had because
Lewis had a really good season last year.
They're all interchangeable.
And I'm not surprised the Patriots let him go because the Patriots just let anybody go.
Yeah.
But this, it's tough, unless you're getting Brady or one of the next two gentlemen we're talking about here. In the wide receiver position, since Julian Edelman is out for the first 4 weeks, and no one else on the team has any real familiarity with Tom Brady, I'm going to say Chris Hogan is the number one receiver on this team.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, he broke his collarbone last year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And missed a large percentage of the season.
Yeah.
Like basically
I had him too.
The last half of the season. But in the playoffs he was
great.
Really good.
He could have been Super Bowl MVP had the Eagles not just scored every time that he got the ball afterward. You know what I mean? Like
right.
there's a real it was so crazy. But he had a really good Super Bowl. I don't know. I feel weird. I don't feel like he's a number one wide receiver. But again, it's the Patriots.
Well, right. And I'm not saying he's a number one receiver to draft. I'm just saying he just for clarification for you guys listening at home.
Right.
When I say this guy's number one, it's just that he's the number one
Patriots.
on the Patriots, right? So, he is, without Edelman, he's the most trusted guy, the only guy that has any rapport with Brady.
Yeah.
And he has proven that he can have a good game from a volume standpoint, from a yardage standpoint. And he actually started really strong last year on touchdown receptions, but of course he got hurt and then didn't. So I think Brady's going to lean on him heavily to start the season because who the fuck else is he going to throw it to?
Yeah. Well, besides
our tight end.
Segue here.
Last year's number 2 tight end in ESPN standard PPR scoring.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski.
Gronkowski. I'm plugging my phone in. Sorry.
It's fine. Missed multiple games last year. Still the number 2 tight end.
That's insane.
So that just proves like when he is healthy, you're fucked.
Yeah, some catches he made in the Super Bowl. Ridiculous catches. He made one that was like a shoestring grab, and I was like, all right, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. This guy, cover him. Jalen Mills, please cover him.
He had a perfectly Gronkian 69 receptions last season.
Dude, do you think he did that on purpose and was like, don't throw me to me anymore?
Well, you know what? He did sit out week 17.
There you go. He was like, I want to keep this reception total at 69.
But yeah, multiple games with 5 or more receptions, multiple games above 50 and 70 yards receiving. He had very few games where he didn't get at least 50 yards.
For a tight end, that's really good.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why Gronk is often considered the best right now.
It would be a toss-up for me, I think, between him and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I mean, Kelce stays in the lineup more, but he barely outscored. Let me look real quick at the total scoring.
I don't know who's first and points.
Kelce was first.
Okay.
He beat Gronk 233 points to 227 points.
That's really close. So I mean, they're basically the same.
Look at it. Gronk had 69 receptions. Kelce had 83.
Gronk
had 1,084 yards. Kelce had 1,038. Both had 8 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. That's about as much as you're going to get from a tight end is 8, right? You're not going to crack 10 with a tight end.
Not for Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Well, he's had because he's had a couple years of that, right?
Yeah.
But even Gronk had that one year where he had like 12. But that like even for wide receivers,
that's a lot.
It's a huge outlier.
Yeah.
And it's hard to repeat that kind of 6.
8 is very receivery touchdown number. Like if you're catching the ball, 8 is like that's your hard cap pretty much. Anything above 8 is you're having like a crazy year, like a really crazy year.
Yeah, or if you're Will Fuller and you had like 6 in 3 weeks.
Right. Right. Which is awesome. It's gotta feel so good, man. Can you imagine? Like that dude must be strutting home. It's fucking 6 touch. It's like just throw me the ball, dude. You're like unstoppable. But then you get those horrible slumps where you're just like getting double covered and you're not getting the ball.
It's hard to double cover him though when he's got DeAndre Hopkins on the other side.
Yeah, he's also
but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We
That's
are,
in
we
the
are.
AFC South.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're gonna get to those guys. We're gonna get there. As my old friend Rick and Morty says,
Ricky Ticky Tappy bitch.
Fucking Rick and Morty soundboard. That's our soundboard. It's just Rick and Morty.
It was the one I found that had the most available options. I was like, good. There's one I found. It was like Vine clips, and I was like, Vine.
Oh,
clips?
remember Vine clips? Remember Vine?
It was like, here's a soundboard from a guy saying Disney. Like, oh, I remember that Vine.
That was so funny. I remember that one.
So stupid.
Where can I go to watch old Vine clips? Is there a site?
YouTube. All right, moving right along to the Miami Football Dolphins.
Oh, God. Here we go.
This year's quarterback, sadly, will not be Smoking Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is now 100% officially retired.
Oh, it's a sad day.
Unless Ryan Tannehill loses like that again. Ryan Tannehill missed all of last season and is coming back. He is not good.
No.
He has never cracked the top 15.
Yeah.
So he has barely qualified. I'm sorry. When I say never, I mean except for that one time when he did and made everybody think he was going to be a good quarterback.
He's riding that hard, though, isn't he? Woo.
And never cracked the top 15. So here's the thing. Never, ever start Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, I've had him in the past. I think I had him 2 years ago. I forgot that Ryan Tannehill played for the Dolphins, I guess. And they're not good. Even though he has Jarvis Landry.
Not anymore.
Or he had Jarvis Landry at the time, and he was not. He's average. He's like a backup quarterback, like literally for your team. Just if you need him, if both of your quarterbacks are hurt or fucking on buys, and you just are desperate as hell, and you're in a league with like 20 people,
yes,
get Ryan Tannehill.
If you're in a 32-team fantasy football league, you may want to start Ryan Tannehill. If you're in a normal human being 10 to 12 team league, don't play him.
No.
Don't play him.
No.
However, there are some Dolphins that you may want to get.
Yeah.
Such as running back Kenyon Drake.
I heard
so promising and so good they traded Jay Ajayi to the Eagles so they could win a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's what what's his name? The other running back, Frank Gore, said the other day. I was reading a thing about how he was like, I could see why they traded Jay Ajayi, like he's sucking this kid's dick or whatever, and it's like Jay Ajayi just won the Super Bowl. I mean, you got rid of a guy and then he went on a team and then they won the Super Bowl. So all right, Frank Gore. Frank Gore is 170 years old too.
He is. He's very old. But he's still playing for the Dolphins. But I think he will be playing behind Kenyon Drake on the depth chart.
Yeah.
He came on pretty strong after Ajayi was traded. He is, the NFL now has kind of gotten away from those 3-down guys. There's very few like full-time, we'll call them running backs.
Right.
But Drake is a runner and a receiver. He's got some good potential for this season.
Sure.
Definitely, like, I would say his ceiling for this year might be like an RB2.
Yeah, I would say that's the most you're probably going to get from him, right?
But like, I think his floor is also like, I don't think he's going to be worse than like RB3. Like, I think he can still finish in like that top 25 running backs.
I feel that. I feel like that's a fair assessment. Like you could have him on your team the whole year if he's healthy, and you'll be fine with that, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't kick him out of bed.
Is that? Yeah, I wouldn't either.
That's what we're gonna say.
He's a snuggler, so I wouldn't definitely.
He's a snuggler.
I wouldn't kick him out.
All right, Ron. Moving on to wide receiver. Jarvis Landry is gone. That means it's time for Devontae Parker to step up.
Devontae Parker, of the Nelson Aguilar class, I believe. Right, he was one of those guys from that class. Those wide receivers looked so amazing again. I mean, this is going to be the ongoing theme of this show in the preseason is how college wide receivers look great, but when they reach the NFL, it's ugh. But Parker's a little better. He had like a kind of a good year, didn't he? He had like
he ended up as the 51st wide receiver. But Landry ate a lot of what would have been I'll say Parker's targets.
Yeah,
Jay Cutler just fell in love with him. But Parker missed part of the season. He missed I want to say 3.5 games. Early on. But he did draw comparisons from Smoking Jay Cutler himself to Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So
high praise.
The guy has a good ceiling.
Right.
It's a matter of whether or not he'll actually reach it.
I feel like with like Aguilar, I feel like these younger receivers, like, you're just waiting for them to break out, and it's only a question of like, is one of them going to break out? Which one is it going to be, and are you going to pick them for your team? Right? Like, it could be Devontae Parker, it could be the kid from Washington who Josh. His name's Josh. I forget his last name.
Josh Brown.
No.
Oh, Josh Dotson.
Josh Dotson. Is it him? Like, is it going to be him? Is like, who knows? Like, it's kind of like, it's like a crapshoot. Who's it going to be, or is it going to happen even?
Right. Yeah, and there's a whole, finishing 51st at wide receiver. You look at this range, and he's finished with 130 points last year.
Yeah,
and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that finished beneath him that were like 2-3 points away.
Uh-huh.
And the guys that finished above him, there was like 7 or 8 guys that were only 6 or 7 points away. Right. So that wide receiver 3 mix is huge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that can fill that role.
You can pick anybody. And again, I think it's just now you got to get into a little more in-depth thinking about who's playing who, who's covering who. Like, that's where in fantasy you got to do that next level shit, or just have a gut feeling, or just guess, really, honestly. Like, if it's down to Devontae Parker and Josh Dotson and I need to fill a spot, I don't know, is Washington playing the Eagles? If so, I'm probably not going to go with Dotson. Right. You know what I mean? That's about it. That's all it comes down to.
I think it's going to come down to, too, is whether or not Adam Gase can... I don't want to say Ryan Tannehill's career needs to be resurrected.
Well, it was never
a thing, right? But, can he take that step to be, above average?
Yeah, I feel like Gase got himself into a situation in Miami that he probably shouldn't have gone there.
I think Miami's going to be cursed for the rest of its life because of what they did to Drew Brees and Nick Saban.
Yeah. But
that's for another day.
Curse.
Looking at the tight end position. So here's the thing about Miami.
Yeah, they have one.
They have them, and they have 2 rookie tight ends fighting for the starting position.
Oh, this will be good.
Rookie tight ends typically suck.
Yep.
So good luck with that, guys. But the guy that I have kind of spotlighted here is Mike Gesicki.
Sure.
Because former Penn State product.
Yeah, he was Eagles were high on him too. I mean, well, people in Philly were. I don't know if the Eagles were, but they liked him because of the whole Penn State thing.
Yeah, he's an excellent receiving tight end. Does not do so good with the blocky.
Yeah, they don't teach that in college, apparently.
Not anymore. You don't need to.
You just two-hand touch people, so whatever.
They only have to have like 1 foot down too, so that's.
I hate that. I freaking hate that about college. It doesn't make any sense. Why is it 1 foot in college and 2 feet in the NFL?
I don't know, Josh. Why are there 131 teams in the college?
That's it? I feel like there's 231.
Oh, Division 1A is 131.
Yeah.
You know, they start talking about Joe Flacco D3 and
Delaware.
But Mike Gesicki, I think he has the most promise. Okay. But saying like you could be the best tight end in Miami is not like the best compliment you can give a guy.
Right. Like is Tannehill gonna even throw to tight ends? Like who even fucking knows, right? I feel like the Dolphins are a hot pile of dog shit. And I mean somebody's gonna have to make points and make plays for them, but I don't think it's gonna be Mike Gesicki. Yeah,
it might come on late in the season, but
maybe
you know, at that point, if you're looking for tight end help, like you know, you really can't.
It is what it is. Yeah,
you have to look where it is. I mean, yeah. Sleeper wise for the Miami Football Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
the wide receiver, Mr. Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills, lead singer of the band Kenny Stills, Crosby and Nash and Young. Can't forget about Neil Young.
They make no money on streamed music.
They don't.
Did you see that the other day? Stephen Nash, who
whoever.
David Crosby posted it. That's
Crosby. He's still alive, apparently. He's Melissa Etheridge's child's father. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
They get all the facts on this show.
Yeah, we don't just talk fantasy football. We talk fantasy music, fantasy movies,
fantasy paternity tests.
But Kenny Stills had another one of those wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 years last year.
Yeah.
And with Jarvis Landry gone, there's close to like 100 targets up
left
for grabs
on the table. Yeah,
just there.
Someone's gonna need to get though. But Jarvis Landry though is incredibly good.
No, he was really good. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from.
I know. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
But I mean, the ball is going to have to go somewhere.
Whether they catch it or not, though, like Landry, and if they're open like Landry, you know what I mean. Yeah. But I agree. Like somebody on this team will have to get the ball. Like it's just it will happen. Who's it going to be? I don't know. They're not going to run it every down, so someone's going to catch it. You know, could be Kenny Stills. Who knows?
Kenny Stills. Could be Devontae Parker.
Could be.
I don't know who even else they have.
I don't even know wide receivers on that team.
Good. So this is probably a good time to move on to our next team.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to table flip off on the fiery table. Woo! I'm so excited about the Buffalo Bills this year.
What you think?
That one's perfect. That's a perfect.
All right. So here's the thing about the Buffalo Bills and the quarterback. It's not going to be good this year.
Yeah.
They picked up AJ McCarron, who has like a career total of 37 passes in the NFL.
An incredible amount. Just an incredible amount.
And they drafted potentially the most unlauded top 5 quarterback in Josh Allen.
They might have gotten the steal of the quarterbacks, right? Like, I feel like out of all those quarterbacks this year, it's him or the Cardinals kid.
Josh Rosen.
Rosen. I get them mixed up because they're both named Josh. Everyone named Josh is the same person.
It's true. It's true.
So, like, I feel like I feel like it's either one of them, and it could be him if he starts. I don't know. Who knows, though? Could be none of them. It's probably none of them. But AJ McCarron stinks butts.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. Like, you're going to be the quarterback in Buffalo, and
right.
AJ McCarron is clearly in that, like, bridge quarterback role. Like, they didn't pay for him to really be a starter. They paid for him to be the guy that plays until Josh Allen is ready.
He was going to be the Sam Bradford or the Chase Daniel.
Right. So, I mean, look, they're saying AJ McCarron is the starter and they're going to usher Allen along slowly, but it's the preseason, so you don't know who really is going to win the starting job.
Yeah, you don't know. And by like week fucking 7, the Bills might just be like, fuck it, put him in, you know?
Yeah. And then who are they going to throw to? They got Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Name me another player on the Bills.
I mean, for a franchise, I think I saw a Reddit NFL today where it was like the Bills had at one point they had like Marquise Goodwin and Sammy Watkins, like 4 of these really amazing wide receivers. So like even when they had those guys, like they weren't doing too good. But now they have nobody.
Now they have nobody. They have Zay Jones, who is one of those football rookies that has high hopes and then bombs out.
Yeah.
You know, they got Kelvin Benjamin, who just threw the entire city of Carolina under a fucking bus.
Yeah.
It was like, I sucked because nobody knew how to throw to me. It's like,
yeah,
was that the reason?
Was that it? Yeah.
Was that it? You know, but that brings us to the third question that I have listed here in our notes is, why are you drafting a Bills quarterback?
Yeah, like not only are they like not good and haven't been since the 90s, since Jim Kelly, but like they play in Buffalo, so there's going to be games where you're not going to be able to throw the ball. Like you're just not going to be able to throw the ball. Like physically not going to be able to throw the ball.
You have to be basically Brett Favre in his prime to succeed in Buffalo. And if you're not, then you end up like literally every other quarterback they've had since Jim Kelly, because who have their quarterbacks been?
Doug
Flutie?
Yeah, Doug Flutie. I don't know. They've had a lot of them. They're like the Browns. Like they've had a lot of them.
They've had a lot of them. Boy, we are really taking our time on this show tonight.
I know.
All right, at running back, shady piece of shit McCoy.
Yeah.
Finished last season as the 7th running back, just turned 30. The last remaining star on a team that is clearly in a rebuild.
Yeah.
Pretty much a scumbag. That's in my notes.
Yeah.
Is he still a 3-down back? Yes.
I mean, who else are they going to roll out there to do stuff, right?
I mean, look, he finished last year as the 7th best running back. I don't think he finishes in the top 15 this year.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would say that's fair. I mean, the best you can hope for is that the Bills have one of those crazy snow games and he goes crazy because he's like made for that. He's done it like 3 times in his career, and it's like, I hope it snows because we'll give it to LaShawn McCoy and he'll just score touchdowns all day. That's the best I think you could hope for. He doesn't seem to be as quick. I mean, obviously he's getting up there at 30. But yeah, I would say that's fair. Not finishing in the top 15.
You know, and that's, to me, like, I know character doesn't really come into fantasy football, but there are guys I won't draft.
Yeah, that's fair, I think.
And I definitely will. I would not draft LaShawn McCoy.
It's like being on the
Cowboys. I drafted him when he was here because I was like,
yeah.
You know, remember that? I don't know if this was a story outside of Philadelphia, but remember that time he had that
tip,
the bus? No, I don't give a shit about the tip. Assholes tip poorly all the time.
That's true, they do.
I'm talking about rape bus.
Oh yeah, the sex bus. Yeah, the sex bus is crazy. That shit's fucking like season 2 of True Detective crazy. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? He's just picking up hoes to fuck. Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, man. People get a lot of money in there, go crazy.
In bird culture, this is considered a dick move.
Bird person. Sorry.
Bird person. All right, at wide receiver, they've got Kelvin Benjamin, who last year finished just inside the top 50. He's one of those guys that was floating around that Devontae Parker point total.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's the clear number one out there.
Sure.
But the QB situation is a hot mess. And if he's singing the praises of this team over Cam Newton as quarterback, I don't know what he's smoking.
Yeah, it's a shit that you gotta say, right? I hate that about football.
Do you have to stick up for your guy by throwing the guy you used to play for under
some people? Yeah, some people don't know that there's a difference, right? My cat's under my desk. I'm gonna spray him with this. There, get out of here. He fucking sits under there, and I kick him, and he gets mad at me, and it's like, oh, anyway, that's a whole other podcast. Catcast. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I wouldn't draft Kelvin Benjamin unless I was super desperate. So,
yeah,
not happening. The Bills are not looking good, man.
Bills are not looking good. At tight end, they have the other perennial name you'll see on the waiver wire, Mr. Charles Clay. Now, I know over the past few years, I've relied on Charles Clay's talents for 1 or 2 weeks out of a season.
I feel like Charles Clay is like a mutually shared ex-girlfriend that we have. Like we're all like, yeah, we've had Charles Clay. I remember Charles Clay.
We're Charles Clay Eskimo brothers. Throughout the season, he's like whatever. Somehow he always ends up with like 30 catches and 500 yards, which for tight ends is certainly acceptable.
Yeah, it's fine. You need to get like maybe like 7 points. He'll get you like 7 points.
Yeah, but he's in that like tier 3, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, I missed the first 3 good guys. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there was a run on the second tier of like reasonably good guys with potential, and it's like, oh fucking Charles Clay. That's who I got.
Sure, why not?
But you'll cut him in like 3 weeks when some rookie has a good couple weeks, and someone else will pick him up because their tight end is out for 2 weeks.
That's the realest shit.
He gets passed around so much.
That's the realest shit.
That's the realest shit right there. I wish I had a soundboard for that's the realest shit.
Oh man.
Shut the fuck up about moon men.
It's close enough. Now, interestingly enough, we've been taking a shit on the Bills quarterbacks, but sleeper this season.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Well, if you have to pick one, he's the only one that nobody knows anything about. So,
like if he's not starting, he, like Josh said, he's probably going to be starting by midseason. And now I don't think he's actually someone you want to play this year.
No.
But if you're in a keeper league,
sure,
he could be that guy you like pick up, and he like shows promise. And you're like, okay, I have a quarterback for next year.
Right. That's smart.
This next team is going to be really easy to deal with.
Oh, this one's going to go fast.
This one's going to go fast. Ready? The Jets. Quarterback. Who the fuck is the quarterback?
Nobody knows.
Okay, we got Josh McCown.
It's probably him, but he's 107 years old.
We got Teddy Bridgewater.
His knees are 107 years old.
We got Sam Darnold.
That guy is a doofus. All right. Here's the thing about Darnold. He's not going to be good. USC quarterback on the Jets. Don't ever draft Sam Darnold. He's never going to be good at anything. You can play this back if I'm wrong. Somebody record it or whatever, but it's not happening. Fuck. Who knows? It's going to be McCown, but is it going to be like some sad fucking like McCown like farewell tour? Like, are the Jets going to like cart McCown out and be like, it's his last year. Oh, he did so good for us. Like, is that going to be a fucking thing? Because like, that's going to be a disaster. He's awful. Doesn't he have like 48 kids too?
The news goes.
All right, I'm growing on this soundboard is growing on me.
No, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Outside of Carson Palmer,
yeah,
can you name a USC quarterback that has had sustained success in this league?
No, there isn't one. Matt Leinart, he was in the league for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he was in the league, right?
Yeah.
But did he have
No, he wasn't.
sustained success? No.
They're bad. They're bad quarterbacks.
You know, Sam Barkley.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't we have him for like a week?
Matt Barkley.
Oh, Matt Barkley. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. He was a number 3 quarterback. I think he's on the Bears still.
Is he?
I feel like he's still on the Bears as a number 3.
Matt Castle, we got here from Banjo Story in the comments.
Matt Castle. Yeah.
No, he had one good season.
Yeah, and
then Bill Belichick was like, "Hey, who wants him?"
Yeah.
And
this guy's a hot commodity. Yep. Nope.
Yep. Okay, so that's that. Running back. Even the Browns didn't want Isaiah Crowell.
31st running back in the league.
31st best running back in the league. His backup, the third down back, Duke Johnson Jr., was like the 8th best running back in the league from point standpoint. So that tells you everything you need to know about Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, I like your note here. I never even thought of that. That's such a good note.
Which note?
Jets won't be running much playing from behind. True.
Yeah, they won't be playing much from behind. And like they have a bunch of pass catching backs, but the problem is they have too many.
Yeah. It's going to be spread out too much.
At wide receiver, there's actually 2 guys from the Jets you might want. Surprisingly, Robbie Anderson, 18th wide receiver last year, which is unbelievable for a Jet.
Yeah.
But he is one of those like stretch runners. He's not Deshaun Jackson, but he's in that mold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not a real red zone threat, but he has a ton of air yards.
Right.
Which is huge. And just a note here I wrote was that he finished right behind Mike Evans and Demaryius Thomas. And I bet you those 2 guys got drafted 4 or 5 rounds earlier.
Probably.
If Robbie Anderson got drafted at all in your league.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted in our internet superstar league.
Oh, probably not. No.
He was floating around. I remember, and I think somebody, it might have been you got him or somebody got him.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because he had a couple of good weeks, like where he was looking like crazy good, and then he's like the Charles Clay of wide receivers. You're just passing him around.
At tight end, the Jets are in a similar situation here as they are with their quarterback.
Yeah.
They have Jordan Leggett, who missed his entire rookie season.
So
who knows how he's going to be.
I don't even know these names. I'm not even going to lie.
And they have, because they got rid of Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Oh, where did he go?
He was coming up in the AFC South.
Oh, okay.
And they have Clive Walford, who even Oakland said no.
Clive Walford sounds like my dad's friend. Just some guy. It's Clive Walford, remember? Oh, yeah. I remember him.
So, I don't know what to tell you about Jets tight ends, and the same way I don't know what to tell you about Jets quarterbacks.
Don't draft anyone from the Jets.
However, except for Robbie Anderson and potentially our sleeper, Quincy Enunwa.
Yeah.
Excellent 2016. But he hurt his neck at the preseason last year and missed the entire season.
Oh my God.
I think with the emergence of Anderson as a deep threat, Enunwa has a real chance to be that underneath guy that just soaks up PPR.
Please.
Just eats it for breakfast.
God, I love the points. Give me the points.
Yeah. Ooh, Bilal Powell. Yeah, right. He might not even make the roster.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I am looking at who the fuck has Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Okay. Now, we're finally ready after an hour to move on to the AFC South. So we've got 20 minutes to get through the AFC
All
South.
right, yeah, let's get through it.
Oh, boy, it doesn't feel like this show was taking that long.
No, it doesn't, but,
No, it just does what it does.
It just does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't like that some of them are a little too quiet, so I can't really
get they're real quiet.
My man.
There we go. All right. The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, boy. Okay.
AFC South.
Yeah.
Is Andrew Luck back?
He looks like it, right? That's what they're saying, man. I don't know. I don't know what to believe about him, honestly. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I guess we're going to see a little bit in the preseason, but if he's healthy, he can be good, but is he going to be the same guy
Right.
he was?
Yeah. Did he just not want to play for Chuck Pagano? Like, right? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. It like lacerated pancreas. That's like that's a serious injury.
That's gonna make me pass out. Don't say that again.
But could Andrew Luck see a potential comeback season, not just from the injury, but because he's got Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. Here we go. Everyone's favorite offensive coordinator who always tries to be a head coach, but it never works out.
Let's see how Frank Reich does. That's always what happens with your Super Bowl teams. Like guys, like the Patriots won all those times. Romeo Crennel left.
Yeah.
That other guy, Charlie Weiss left.
Oh yeah, Charlie Weiss. Yeah.
Josh McDaniels tried to leave.
Yeah, McDaniels tries to leave. He can't get on the plane though. Can't seem to do it.
Josh McDaniels also almost had this Colts job.
Oh, I love it. I love how horrible of a person Josh McDaniels. I mean, I don't love it, but I love that the Patriots are scumbags. What a scumbag. Yeah. I'll be the coach 2 days before. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the coach.
You know what? Good for Frank Reich, though. You know what? Cash that fucking check. 2 years of an offensive coordinator and playing for the Rhine Fire for all those years.
Yeah.
Right? That was the team. Did he play for the Rhine Fire?
Yeah. It was Birmingham Dragons or whatever. Who the fuck? What is that? World League?
NFL Europe, baby.
Yeah. NFL Europe. Jesus Christ.
Man, we need to bring that back. Fuck the XFL.
Yeah, no.
All right. At running back, Frank Gore is gone.
Finally.
It's time for Marlon Mack.
Sure. Why not? That's a guy who they have.
I'll tell you this. I looked up this thing here. I do a little bit of peeking at the strength of schedule stuff.
Yeah.
And Mr. Warren Sharp, who is the progenitor of Sharp Football Analysis, believes the Colts have the softest run schedule.
Like defensively, like
of the season this year. So Marlon Mack might be able to do something, but he has a couple rookies hot on his heels if he doesn't do anything. He finished last year just inside the top 50, and that was with Frank Gore also getting a large chunk of the carries.
Right. That's not bad.
I don't know that Marlon Mack is the kind of running back that someone from Frank Reich, I guess, would be considered still under the Andy Reid tree.
Sure.
Right? Because Doug Peterson to Frank Reich.
So.
They have a type, right?
They're quick.
Back they like. And I don't think that Marlon Mack is necessarily going to be a good fit for that offense.
Yeah, I wouldn't go drafting him unless you're desperate. He's a desperation move.
I like what you got.
At wide receiver, perennial pain in our ass, T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton.
Let's talk about T.Y.
Cooper of the Colts.
28th best wide receiver last year. 3 games where he put up more than 150 yards and multiple touchdowns.
Which is crazy.
And that was balanced out by the fact that he had 6 games where he had less than 25 yards.
That's unfucking believable. How? What are you doing? Like, what are you not doing is the question. What were you doing in the games where you scored multiple touchdowns and got 150 yards? Do that every week until they stop you. Just do it. Fuck. T.Y. Hilton. I'm going to fucking draft T.Y. Hilton, and he's going to pull this bullshit again. I guarantee you.
It's possible, because that's kind of like his MO.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Like, he has 1,000-yard seasons, and you're like, wait, how did he have 1,000 yards?
Right.
And you're like, oh, he had that game where he had 10 catches and 250 yards. Like, yeah, but when I played him, he had like 1 catch for 6 yards.
Yeah, it's fucking infuriating. Well, at least he didn't murder anybody.
Hey,
like Colts wide receivers tend to do from time to time.
Hey, he didn't hide a gun in a bucket of paint. Good for him.
This'll hide the gun.
That's the bar we're setting for Colts wide receiver.
Yeah, good job.
Good for you. Tight end, they have Jack Doyle. He finished last year 7th, which was surprising to me because
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Slow as fuck.
He is slow as fuck.
Yeah, I don't.
He's slow as fuck, and I know that just from Madden. But he has like the slowest speed of all the tight ends in the game, and he is never fucking open in Madden. But Jack Doyle last year was the recipient of the Jacoby Brissett like check down special.
Yeah.
So a lot of his points he came from receptions. I think he had like 80 receptions last year,
which is a lot,
which is a tremendous amount. But Indianapolis was so unimpressed with his 7th best tight end performance that they brought in Eric Ebron from the Detroit Lions.
He's another one. He's just another one of those guys where you're like, I'm going to start this guy. Nope. Nothing. No points. 2 points. 3 points.
And that may have been a product of playing in Detroit.
Sure.
Because Matt Stafford traditionally has never loved tight ends.
No.
And that's why Eric Ebron is our sleeper pick for the Indianapolis Colts.
Nice.
He didn't show much in Detroit, but there are a lot more targets to go around in Indianapolis. And if he even shows a 10th of his supposed like out of college potential for the build he has, he's that prototypical like tough, Antonio Gates-ish tight end.
Right.
Like if Luck and him can connect, he's going to have, I would say, an Evan Engram-esque year.
Yeah.
Eric Ebron could be the next Evan Engram, even though Evan Engram came after Eric Ebron.
It's confusing.
Think about that for a minute.
That's tight ends, man. We'll
give you a minute to think about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to put him way up inside your butthole.
I love that show.
That's good.
A good show.
All right, the Nashville Titans.
Sure,
they have new uniforms this year.
I hate the numbers; they're awful.
I don't like the dark blue. I liked them in that like.
Yeah, I feel like that light helmet, the white helmet with the light blue, is going to be like the Chargers. They're going to go back to it eventually and be like, here, we're back to this white helmet. I hate the numbers, though. They look so stupid. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't like the jerseys.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota is their quarterback. He finished last year as the 18th best quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'll caveat this with I don't think he is that bad because
I also don't think he's that bad.
I think he was really bothered by that broken leg.
Yeah, broken leg fucked him up. It was real bad broken leg, too.
So I think he has the potential to bounce back to his pre-2017 form. Yeah. He is one of the best play action quarterbacks in the NFL.
Uh-huh. So
he is really going to depend on new lead back Derrick Henry and new backup Dion Lewis. I got to change that. There we go. Dion Lewis.
Same guy.
And if he could get over that like broken leg, I think he can be that Marcus Mariota that got drafted.
He's fun to watch. Like he's fun to just watch play. I like watching Titans games just for him to see what he does. I root for him a little bit, And
they have some good. They have like a good core around him to help him. It just like last year he just was missing like a spark.
Yeah, I mean they made the playoffs like somehow. They lost, but you know.
They're starting running back this year now that DeMarco Murray has retired.
Thank God.
Derrick Henry, who finished just inside the top 40 running backs last year, which is, running back 3-4 potential.
Yeah.
He had a lot of great flashes, which is why I think the Titans believe they could move on.
Mm-hmm.
But they did bring in Dion Lewis. So
he might be getting a little more.
That's your third down back, kind of thing. Derrick Henry has not proven that he's a 3-down back in the league. But I think Henry is also another one of those guys that's going to be a vulture.
Yeah, I like that. Did you come up with that term?
Yes, I did.
I like that a lot. That's such a good term.
I invented that. See if you guys can spread that around your fantasy football friends.
Yeah, the vulture. I like that. It's cool. It's perfect. Hits the nail right on the head.
Moving along here, we're looking right ahead
to the wide receivers.
Wide receiver is Rashard Matthews.
Oh God.
Finished just inside the top 40. He's another one of those wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 guys. Yeah. He's not flashy. He gets receptions, gets about 60 yards.
Yeah, he'll get like 7, 8 points, maybe.
And he's not a bad guy to have on your bench.
Yeah.
I think what's hurt him over the past few years is the lack of touchdowns.
Yeah.
And if Mariota can return to form, there will be more touchdowns to go around. I think last year he only threw like 15 touchdowns against 18 picks, which is really bad.
That's really bad, yeah.
So, you see that I guess you call it a positive regression.
A positive regression.
Yeah, where it swings back the other way. So
I got you. Yeah, so because he's good and he degressed, so the regress back to the. I got it. That's very complicated concepts.
Yes. Yes, so this is what happens when you read a lot of analytics on football.
Well, they gotta make up a bunch of terms.
He's got reverse progression and progressive regression. It's like he's a 6 down back.
Oh man!
If Corey Davis, the rookie they drafted last year with the number 5 pick, can stay healthy, I think Matthews can have a pretty good year.
I think Corey Davis scored his first touchdown in the playoff game, I believe.
Is that true?
I believe it was then, because he was quiet the whole year.
Yeah,
he did nothing. But again, that's the theme, man. You draft a wide receiver, they're not going to do a whole lot.
Rubber baby bunny bunkers.
Yeah, that's what that means. At tight end, they have old reliable.
Yeah.
Delaney Walker, who finished last year as the number 4 tight end.
Yeah, he's a good pickup. He's good.
He's in a contract here.
Oh, he's going to try harder.
Over the last 4 seasons, has reached 800 yards receiving. So that consistency is great. The TDs are not there. No. But again, like we said, Mariota last year.
They're not throwing them. Yeah.
They're not throwing them. So contract year is huge, and I believe he will again finish in the top 10. Could he finish again in the top 5? Yes, but I want to play it. I want to play it safe. It's just he will be a top 10 tight end again this year.
Top 5 is that number is freaking me out that he's number 4. That just goes to show you, I think, how tight ends are in fantasy.
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, the drop between him and Ertz was not...
It's huge.
No, I don't think... Oh, no, wait, you're right. It was. At first, I thought it wasn't. No, it's the drop between Delaney Walker and then, like, everybody else is not bad. Yeah. But, like, Kelsey, Gronk, and even the drop from Gronk to Ertz.
It's a parabola, right?
Was pretty big. Yeah. But that's so Delaney Walker is in that tier 2. Mm-hmm. He's like the leader of tier 2.
Yeah, I would pick him up. He's a good pickup for a tight end. I mean, he'll get you solid points pretty much every week.
Our sleeper for this team is one Mr. Corey Davis, last year's number 5 pick.
I like him. I liked him when he got drafted. I know the Eagles kind of before the Wentz thing, they liked him.
Right.
I like him. I'd like to see like wide receivers do well out of college, and I think he could do it. I mean, people really like him a lot. So
I like when receivers that were fun to watch in college
are fun
to watch in the NFL in divisions that are not mine.
Right. I don't want them coming into the NFC East and pulling some shit. Get out of here. Unless they're on the Eagles.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was hurt for most of the early part of the season. Looked solid, didn't look lost out there. And I think he has potential to skip the sophomore slump.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he could be one of those guys that was drafted from last year. I think he can avoid the curse of that first round wide receiver
draft. Yeah. I like that sleeper. I'm on board with that one.
The other ones you didn't like though?
I like that one better than the other ones.
You didn't like my Bills and Jets sleepers, my Dolphins sleeper picks.
It's like picking which one of your grandparents that's dead is gonna come back alive? None of them. There's no sleepers on those teams. But you gotta pick one. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe there will be. Who knows?
That's just the format I went with this show. I could have sleepers. Don't pick anybody on this team. They suck.
No one. Everyone's bad.
Yeah. I wanted to give you a little something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it didn't look like we didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's the preseason for us too, guys.
Still. It's twice.
Moving right along to potentially one of the most exciting teams that it's to watch in 2018's football season.
Yeah.
The Houston non-oiling Texans.
Totally different jobs they have. They're not oilers. At
the quarterback position, we have the most heartbreaking player of the year last year.
I had him.
Deshaun Watson.
I had him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting so many points. It was great.
He finished at the 26th quarterback, and he only played 7 games, and he missed being in the top 25 by percentile of points.
Yeah.
If he gets to play a full season, he has come back from leg damage before. So if he gets to play a full season, I think the Texans are going to be one of the most offensively explosive teams.
It's crazy to think about that. From Ryan Mallett to that.
From guy who couldn't even wake up to make it to camp. Hard Knocks.
Oh my God. They had to fucking fire him. Oh my God.
Yeah. They're like, hey, why don't you come to practice?
You got a phone, dude?
Now, with that in mind, I don't think there's any possible way he could keep that TD rate up.
It's insane. It's not going to happen. I hope he does, and I hope I get him. I hope that's a thing, but I don't think so either.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
What's great too is he will have a full season, hopefully, of DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller to keep him alive. Now, sadly, at running back, they're going to rely on Lamar Miller again. And I say sadly. And you're going to be sad. He was the 16th best running back last year.
Yeah.
But that's only because he didn't lose his starting job because Deonta Foreman got seriously hurt.
Right.
Deonta Foreman is still on the physically unable to play list as of today. So he will not start the season likely.
Yeah.
But Lamar Miller is not anything to write home about at this point in his career.
Yeah.
I don't believe last year that he had, let me double check this. I got to get better about writing my notes. It's the preseason for us too, you guys.
That's 3.
If I recall correctly, yes, he had 0 games where he surpassed 80 yards rushing.
Wow, that's insane.
He had 1 game where he reached 75 yards, and he scored just 3 rushing touchdowns.
Not reaching 80 yards is, as a running back, that's your number 1 job is to get 100 yards a game. That's what you want, right? It's pretty standard.
And when you have guys like DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller on the outside,
there's no way you shouldn't be able to just run like crazy.
Right. So I think, finishing 16th is a bit of that misnomer.
Yeah.
It's like a fluky 16.
Yeah. That's my favorite 50s song by Chuck Berry, Fluky 16. Oh, man. You're getting lots of jokes here today.
Yeah, we got them all. So, yeah, he's their running back. I think if Deonta Foreman comes back at any point, you're wise to pick him up off the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And that takes us over to the wide receivers. Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL last year.
Fucking get him.
Get him. Even when he didn't have Deshaun Watson, the dude was nasty.
He's making catches. He's like Antonio Brown-esque. He's Antonio Brown of the South. right?
Yeah,
Like
I would buy into that.
It's crazy how good those two guys are.
The only thing that is potentially going to hurt him in his wide receiver rankings, from a fantasy perspective, is I don't think he's going to get 12 touchdowns again.
Yeah, that's
really hard.
Yeah.
But I think another 90 catches, another 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. That is not like a bad pick to have made.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. At tight end, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. CJ
what a shocker.
Was retired because he had too many concussions.
I think we all remember CJ Fedorowicz.
Look, he wasn't great, but he was in that, I'm going to get 50 catches and 500 yards realm of tight ends.
If someone put a gun to my head and said, who was the Texans tight end in 2017? I would be dead. I'd be like, I don't know. And it's going to be that way for this year.
So we have 2 rookies in Jordan Akins and Jordan Thomas that are going to be battling it out for the starting spot. But I would definitely stay away from them and turn my attention towards the sleeper pick, who is admittedly, and I'm not making this up off the cuff, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget to say it, not a very sleepery sleeper.
No, he's a starter.
Will Fuller the 5th.
Yeah.
And I just have him here as a sleeper only because of his injury history last year.
Yeah.
And how he kind of, I wouldn't say he faded out once Deshaun Watson was out of the lineup, but he didn't really do much.
Yeah.
When Watson was in the lineup, though, there was that 3-week stretch where he had 6 touchdowns. He had tons of yards.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't take anything away from DeAndre Hopkins.
Which is crazy.
He still got his.
It's crazy. That's how good Hopkins is. Get him. Get Hopkins.
Yeah, get Hopkins. But yeah, I think Will Fuller is a strong wide receiver 3 this year.
Yeah, I would say
strong
pushing 2. Pushing the 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That brings us to Josh's favorite team in the NFL.
They're my favorite team.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Led by quarterback Blake Bortles, who finishes the 13th quarterback in the ESPN standard scoring.
That's a bit of high.
It's a bit high, you would say, right? But guess he finished just behind number 12, Jared Goff.
Goff had some really, I know we're not talking about the West, but Goff had some really good games, but he's also not Wentz, right?
Oh, no, I know he's not Wentz, but like the way that the Rams were playing.
Right.
If I were to tell you that Blake Bortles and that guy, Jared Goff would have had similar seasons, you would have been no.
Yeah, there's no way.
But they did. Here's the thing about Blake Bortles. He doesn't throw a lot.
No.
But there was only 3 games last year where he didn't throw a touchdown.
Yeah, but from your quarterback, you really want like at least 2, right?
Sure.
Like you want 2 touchdowns, maybe an interception. Hopefully,
and that's just like from an NFL in general perspective, not just like as an NFL team, you want your quarterback throwing touchdowns.
Gotta throw.
And having a person who does not turn the ball over a lot, which Bortles did not. It isn't really a fantasy football benefit,
right?
When the TDs aren't there to balance it out.
Yeah.
Now this is the thing too, though. When Fournette got hurt, you could see at the end of the season where Bortles all of a sudden kind of just started chucking it.
Yeah.
And he had the yardage, but he still didn't have the touchdowns.
Right. He doesn't really have an arm.
Right. But that's kind of how I think what helped him finish his 13th.
He just racked up a bunch of
yards.
End of the year yards.
Yeah. Now their running back, Mr. Leonard Fournette, finished last year as the 9th running back. I think potential to finish in the top 10 again. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I think if that ankle didn't get hurt, he finishes 7th, maybe reaches the top 5.
Maybe.
But he is a 3-down back, but he's not a super receiving threat. So in PPR, he's not going to blow you away.
Yeah, he's going to be scoring touchdowns with his legs.
Right, yards, touchdowns.
Yeah.
And even though, everybody knew Jacksonville was going to run, it didn't really stop them. So you don't have to have a concern that this year they're like, oh, well, teams are just going to load the box this year. It's like, well, they loaded the box last year.
They knew, yeah.
They knew
the first week what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because Bortles doesn't throw. He just doesn't throw. So,
yeah, I want to say Fournette finished with, 1,040 yards and 268 carries. So, do that math.
Yeah.
Do that math.
Do that math.
Do that math. All right, at wide receiver, somehow they gave up on Allen Robinson and decided to go with Marquise Lee.
Sure, why not?
Finished in the top 40 of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of passing yards to go around in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of targets to go around in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of passing touchdowns to go around in Jacksonville.
The air is thicker down there in Jacksonville from all the sadness and pollution. So it's harder to throw the ball through the air.
That makes sense.
That's science.
But Jacksonville says this is the guy.
Why not? It's got to be
he's
somebody.
The guy.
Pick somebody to be the number one.
He's the guy. Now, who I will say I have a little bit of faith in is Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last year, he finished as the 20th tight end, but I think he can easily finish in the top 15 this year.
Yeah,
especially in Jacksonville, getting a lot of check down routes. He is decent with the Jets. He's a reliable player. I don't think you have guys that you draft that might lose you a game.
Right.
I don't think he's going to lose you a game.
Yeah, he probably won't lose you a game. I've definitely had those games where a tight end has lost me the game because they just didn't produce,
Right, but I think at the start of the season, here's what I'm going to get out of Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Yeah,
and I won't get less than that. I might get more than that.
Right. There's always a chance.
This is what I'm going to get.
Yeah, he's a good pickup.
I think he's that guy.
Yeah,
yeah. I would trust him over Marquise Lee.
I agree with that 100%.
My perspective. I think 20th tight end is better than 40th wide receiver.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
And now at the sleeper pick, our final sleeper for the night, a nice young gentleman by the name of Dede Westbrook, who was a wide receiver.
He's very fast.
In Jacksonville. He's very quick. He has a little bit of competition. They brought in Dante Moncrief. They have Keelan Cole.
Okay.
But he had a tremendous finish to 2017.
Yeah.
He was basically the recipient of a ton of attention from Blake Bortles. And if he is a guy that is going to be fitting into the slot, I think that's an excellent way for this guy to have success. And if you see within the first 3 games that he is performing on that 2017 path,
right?
I think he could definitely finish as a solid wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4.
I would like to see him succeed. Also, he's another one who I just think he would be fun to watch if he can get over that hump. I think he'll be fun to watch. He's so fast. I love that. I love when you see a guy like Tyreek Hill run.
Right.
And you're just like, I'm not watching a human being. That's impossible. It's crazy. And he's that fast. So I like it. I like your sleeper. All right. We got through the AFC South.
We did it. We got through the entire AFC. So that means next week.
Yeah.
It's time to move on to a real champions division.
The real division.
The real division.
Real conference. Yeah.
All right. So here's the schedule for the rest of our August, guys. August 15th, which is next Wednesday, we're taking a look at the NFC West and the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
August 22nd, we're looking at the NFC South and the NFC East,
wherein
the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles reside.
I can't wait.
On August 29th, we will be off.
Yay.
And then we're back on September 5th to bring you week 1 action.
Whee!
Week 1 action.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a good time. Let me hit our music and we'll talk as it plays us out here.
Oh, yeah.
So
good show.
That was a great show. We really rushed through the end there, but I think we nailed all the
important
parts.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in and watching tonight. Don't forget, check the @FFF podcast Twitter to see how to join us on the Discord. We'll be making a lot of use of that out of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't forget to vote on when you think you might be able to watch some streams of me playing Madden NFL football this year.
Yeah.
And we still have some more things coming. Like I said last week, we might experiment with a little Instagram TV on Sunday morning.
Crazy.
For some last minute picks. And of course, you can always keep your eyes out for the Luke and Josh watch an Eagles game live stream. We don't have a date yet.
Yeah, it won't be the first game.
It will not be the home opener.
Yeah,
but it will happen.
Yeah,
at some point, and you guys will be the first to know.
Hell yeah!
Thanks for watching. We're gonna see you next week. Goodbye, Josh.
Bye. Thank you.